Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most chilling true crime thrillers ever made, Zodiac, directed by David Fincher. This film is based on the real-life case of the Zodiac Killer, a mysterious murderer who terrorized California in the late 1960s and 70s, taunting police and newspapers with cryptic letters, ciphers, and terrifying phone calls. To this day, the Zodiac remains one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. So buckle up, because this story isn't just about a killer. It's about obsession, paranoia, and how the pursuit of truth can consume your entire life. The movie opens on July 4, 1969. A young couple is sitting in a car, enjoying fireworks. Suddenly, a mysterious figure approaches and unleashes a brutal attack. The man survives, but the woman dies. Weeks later, 3 major newspapers in San Francisco receive letters. Each begins with chilling words. "This is the Zodiac speaking." Inside are cryptic ciphers that promise to reveal his identity. This instantly grabs public attention. Newspapers publish the letters, police scramble, and ordinary citizens begin trying to decode the mysterious symbols. We meet 3 men who will define this case: Inspector Dave Toshi, Mark Ruffalo, a sharp, no-nonsense detective determined to catch the killer; reporter Paul Avery, Robert Downey Jr., a flamboyant crime journalist at the San Francisco Chronicle who thrives on Zodiac's notoriety; and Robert Graysmith, Jake Gyllenhaal, a quiet, puzzle-obsessed cartoonist at the Chronicle who becomes fascinated with the case. At first, Graysmith is just a curious bystander, but as the story unfolds, his curiosity turns into full-blown obsession. The Zodiac doesn't just kill, he plays. He sends more letters to the press, mocking the police, bragging about his murders, and threatening mass shootings. He demands his ciphers be published or more people will die. At Lake Berryessa, a young couple is attacked in broad daylight. The killer wears a black executioner-style hood with a white cross circle symbol, the same symbol from his letters. He brutally stabs them, and then leaves his symbol painted on their car door. Soon after, a taxi driver is shot in San Francisco. The killer is spotted escaping, but somehow slips through the cracks of police coordination. Each crime scene feels like the killer is both taunting and testing the system. By now, the Zodiac isn't just a killer, he's a cultural phenomenon. Newspapers splash his letters across the front page, schools hold safety drills, and people begin living in fear. Paul Avery, the reporter, starts receiving personal threats from the Zodiac, driving him into paranoia. He becomes more erratic, more self-destructive, eventually spiraling into alcoholism. Meanwhile, Toshi and his partner Armstrong chase countless leads. Suspects come and go, evidence never quite sticks, and the Zodiac always seems to stay one step ahead. While the police struggle, cartoonist Robert Graysmith grows obsessed. He begins collecting every article, every letter, every tiny clue. Unlike the others, Graysmith isn't motivated by fame or duty. He's simply driven by the puzzle. Years pass, people move on, the case goes cold, but Graysmith keeps digging. His obsession strains his marriage, alienates his family, and nearly destroys him. But he can't stop. To him, solving the Zodiac puzzle becomes a personal mission. Eventually, Graysmith and Toshi both zero in on one man, Arthur Lee Allen. The circumstantial evidence is overwhelming. He wore a watch with the Zodiac symbol. He made strange comments about killing people. Survivors point to him as resembling the killer. But here's the problem: the hard evidence never matches. Handwriting samples don't line up. Fingerprints don't match. DNA tests are inconclusive. The film builds incredible tension in these moments. Every time you think this is it, something falls apart. And that's the most frustrating, and realistic, part of the Zodiac case. One of the most terrifying sequences comes when Graysmith follows a lead to a man who might know the Zodiac. He ends up in a dark, creaky basement, believing he may be face to face with the killer. This scene is masterclass horror. No gore, no violence, just pure dread. It leaves both Graysmith and the audience shaken, proving how paranoia has seeped into every corner of his life. By the late 1970s, interest in the Zodiac case fades. The police hit dead ends. Toshi is pulled off the investigation. Avery self-destructs, but Graysmith? He refuses to let go. He writes a book, compiling all his findings, convinced that Arthur Lee Allen is the Zodiac. The movie ends not with an arrest or a confession, but with uncertainty. Graysmith looks into the eyes of a man he believes is the killer, but the truth is never officially confirmed. Zodiac is not your typical thriller. There are no jump scares, no shootouts, no neat resolutions. Instead, it's a meticulous, slow-burn investigation into obsession. The atmosphere. Fincher's direction is haunting: dimly lit rooms, endless paperwork, the constant ticking of time. You feel the weight of decades passing with no closure. The performances. Gyllenhaal captures the descent into obsession, Ruffalo brings weary determination, and Downey Jr. steals scenes with his wit and eventual downfall. The realism. Unlike Hollywood's usual neat endings, Zodiac reflects reality: messy, unresolved, frustrating. Evil isn't always caught. Sometimes, it just slips away. And that's what makes it terrifying. The idea that the Zodiac might still be out there, laughing at how he was never caught. And that's the recap and review of Zodiac. It's not just a crime film, it's a meditation on obsession, truth, and the human need for closure. What do you think? Was Arthur Lee Allen really the Zodiac Killer? Or do you believe someone else was behind the crimes? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling movie recaps and reviews. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, the Zodiac is still out there.